What's up, guys? Coming at you today with a full slate of MLB action here on Wednesday, September 10th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price I think is the best chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, looking pretty decent overall. We got off to a very good start there. Well, that wasn't actually the first game of the day. We had the Orioles at minus 160. They end rather late there, but it was a 3-2 extra inning win there for the Orioles. Brandish was great over his 7 innings. The bullpen wasn't a disaster, but the Pirates cobbled together a monster pitching day, and the problem was neither offense did much. The Orioles gave up a solo home run there in the top of the 9th before walking it off in the bottom of the 11th with a clutch base knock. So we'll take the win on that one. We also cashed the Phillies at minus 130. That was a blowout 9-3 win. Suarez gave up only a single hit and 0 runs over his 6 innings of work, and the offense was cooking, putting up 9 runs on 13 hits. They slugged 3 home runs as well. Manaea wasn't great for the Mets, and their offense did not get going whatsoever. So a win there on the Phillies. We've got the Athletics still live at minus 110. That game is in the bottom of the 4th. The Athletics have the bases loaded, but there's 2 outs. So we'll see if they get anything out of that. We also had the Royals at plus 110 as our dog of the day. Really should have went with the under in that one. The Royals got absolutely dominated there by Cantillo, who went 8 shutout innings, and the Royals wasted a great start there from Cameron, getting shut out themselves 2-0. So that was annoying, but we did cash our massive lock of the day. That was the Cubs at minus 110. That was our lock, guys, and it was very lock-like. A 6-1 win behind a very solid day there from Horton. The Cubs offense finally came to play, putting up 6 runs, and the Braves wasted a very reasonable start there from Spencer Strider to eventually take the loss. So at least a 3-2 day locked up. We'll see if we can make it 4-1. That would be awfully nice. The premium side also looking to have a very, very good day out there. Already a profit locked over there on the premium side. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, guys. We're going to go ahead and dive in. We've got a full slate here to cover on a very busy Wednesday. And first up, we're going to be looking at the Milwaukee Brewers heading to Texas to take on the Rangers. The Brewers come into this game fresh off a tough 5-4 loss there in Game 2, losing back-to-back games, not something Milwaukee's done a ton this year. They're going to try to avoid losing a third straight as they hand the ball in this one to Freddie Peralta. He's 16-5 on the year, a 2.50 ERA, fresh off a dominant start there against the Phillies. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 8 and walked 3. Was eventually a 2-0 loss there for Milwaukee. So he threw the ball great. Definitely wasn't his fault. The dude hasn't given up an earned run in his last 5 starts at least. Is it more than that, or is it just 5? Yeah, the start before that, it was terrible against the Braves, guys. He gave up a run in that game. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run allowed. So I'm expecting very good stuff from him here against the Texas Rangers, a team he hasn't faced yet this year, but I think Peralta's going to be just fine out there. The Brewers bullpen, not the best bullpen around. 3.81 bullpen ERA definitely leaves something to be desired, but we'll see what they can do. I think they'll be pretty much okay in this matchup. We'll see. The offense has hit a bit of a bump in the road. 4-0 runs so far in this series. They did score 10 in their last game against the Pirates, but haven't been swinging the hottest bats recently. They are still second in the majors run scored, second in batting average. They're going to go based at a 333 clip. That is also second best in the majors. So I'm expecting good stuff from the Brewers here. Yelich being back should definitely be a positive. So I'm expecting them to find a way to score some runs in this game. Going up against a Rangers team that at 76-70 is making a run at it. They're very, very poised to make this run. They've been keeping themselves in the mix all year long. They currently find themselves only a single game back the Seattle Mariners for that last American League wildcard spot. They're going to hand the ball to Merrill Kelly in this game. He's 11-7 on the year, a 3.16 ERA, and this is exactly why they went out and traded for this guy. His last start, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed there in a 4-3 extra inning win against the Astros. Over his last 5 starts, he's been pretty solid out there. We'll see what he can do against the Brewers. Obviously not the easiest opponent to face, but he hasn't faced them this year, and they're swinging some pretty cold bats, so we'll see. Maybe Merrill Kelly's in for a good start. I'm not too worried about the Rangers bullpen, a 3.68 bullpen ERA. They've been elite out there in the bullpen all year long. The offense hitting the ball a little bit better here recently, scoring 5, 5, and 4 runs over their last 3 games. But over the course of the year, this has not been a very good team at the plate. They're 20th in runs scored. They're 26th in batting average. I struggle a little bit to see this team really continuing to be this good at the plate, and they're not even being that great right now, and they're about to go up against Freddie Peralta. So we'll see how this one goes. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers like the Brewers here at minus 130. The Rangers are plus 110. We've got a total of 7.5. The Brewers are 42-29 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. They are 35-33-3 to the under on the road. The Rangers are 43-28 at home, a very good home team. 44-26-1 to the under at home. I know the total in this game is only 7.5. I definitely think under is alive and well in this spot. I wouldn't fault anybody for taking under 7.5 or no run first inning in this game. I think there's some value to be had there. In terms of the side, I will lean just slightly towards the Brewers. I don't think they lose 3 straight like this, but it's definitely not impossible. I would say out of everything on this game, my favorite lean is at no run first inning. Next up, guys, we're leaning the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. The Red Sox 80-65 on the season. Obviously, a little bit of a pitching change in that game, so that was a little bit annoying for us. The Red Sox look like they're about to pull off the 5-0 win. The premium picks, we'll be talking about that in just a second. But the Red Sox here in game 2 of this series are going to hand the ball to Peyton Toll. He comes into this one 0-1 on the year, a 7.56 ERA. This young 22-year-old's only making his 3rd start with the big league team this year, and the first 2 kind of mixed results. Got off to a good start there against the Pirates, but then got shelled by the Diamondbacks. We'll see what he looks like here against the Athletics. Definitely not an easy team to be facing at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the bullpen for Boston's been amazing this year. That's not a problem. A 3.46 bullpen ERA has them 3rd in the majors right now. The offense, 5 runs in their current game, 7 the game before that, 7 the game before that. They are definitely hitting the ball right now. They're 4th in the majors in runs scored, 8th in slugging percentage, but 4th in batting average. This has been a pretty solid offense all year long. Maybe a little bit inconsistent, but definitely not a lot to complain about there for the Red Sox at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here against the Athletics, who at 66-79 on the year. Not a lot left to play for down the stretch. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Mason Barnett. He comes into this game, going to be his 3rd outing of the season. He's had mediocre performances against the Rangers and the Angels, so we'll see what he can actually do here against the Red Sox. A very, very legitimate squad to be facing here. So I'm a little bit worried about Barnett. I'm also a little bit worried about both these teams. They're going to be playing pretty late at night and then have to play a day game tomorrow. So we'll see how that affects them. The bullpen for the Athletics has been horrendous all year long. That's not major news. The offense, I mean, they're not hitting the ball great at the moment. They're getting shut out in their current game. They got shut out in game 1 of this series. They got to snap back at some point. I mean, they're 5th in the majors in runs scored and 4th in slugging percentage. This has been a very scary team at the plate this year, so I'm not expecting them to, all of a sudden just not be able to hit the boat, not be able to hit the water if they fall out of a boat. So we'll see how this one goes. Looking at the numbers, the Red Sox are minus 130. The Athletics are plus 110. We've got a total of 10.5 in this game. Boston's 34-37 on the road, 38-32-1 to the over on the road. The Athletics are 29-40 at home, 35-30-4 to the over at home. I actually think this is a pretty reasonable spot to take under 10.5. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense here with both teams being exhausted. That could be a double-edged sword. Maybe the pitchers will be bad, but I expect the starters and the bullpens to be a lot less tired than these hitters and, guys that are playing in the field the whole time are. So lean a bit towards under 10.5. If you're begging me for a side, I will take the Red Sox, but no major lean on the side. I think that total is much higher value. Next up, guys, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks heading to San Francisco to take on the Giants. The Diamondbacks and Giants are playing right now with San Francisco up 5-2 in the top of the 6th inning. The Diamondbacks now a game below 500, gonna have a really hard time climbing the National League standings to make a push there at the playoffs, but they're 4th. They're 4 games back in that National League wildcard chase. So we'll see what they can do down the stretch. They'll hand the ball in this one to Eduardo Rodriguez, who's 7-8 on the year, a 5.22 ERA. His last couple of starts have been excellent. Shutting down Boston, shutting down the Dodgers. That was after getting shelled there by the Brewers. We'll see what he looks like in this one going up against the Giants. Not exactly a powerhouse at the plate, although the last time he faced them back in May, it didn't go great for Eduardo Rodriguez. So we'll see what he can do. I'm not expecting great stuff from the Diamondbacks bullpen. It's been terrible this year. The offense continues to be pretty solid. I know only 2 runs in their current game, but over the course of the season, they're still 4th in runs scored and 12th in batting average. Not really a drastic fall off after selling off a bunch of their best hitters there at the trade deadline. So we'll see what they can do here in San Francisco. The Giants at 73-71 on the year currently find themselves only 2.5 games back of the Mets for the last playoff spot there in the National League. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Carson Seymour. He's sporting a 4.25 ERA. This young 26-year-old, his last couple of outings have been starts. First one was a debacle there against the Orioles, but then really figured stuff out there at St. Louis, guys. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and an 8-2 win. So we'll see what he can do against the Diamondbacks. Clearly not the easiest team to face. The last time he faced them was back in early July, and he did not have a good time in his 3 innings. So definitely a little bit concerned about this spot for Seymour. The Giants' bullpen, on the other hand, is excellent. That's not a concern. One of the best 2 bullpens in the majors. The offense has not been top-notch, but they've hit the ball pretty well so far in this series, which is a big plus for a team that's 24th in batting average and 19th in slugging percentage. Not exactly a lineup full of sluggers. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Diamondbacks are minus 105. The Giants are minus 115. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Arizona's 34-38 on the road, 34-33-5 to the under on the road. San Francisco's 35-34 at home, 38-28-3 to the under at home. I don't care about those trends, guys. I definitely think over 8 is a very good spot in this game. I think we're going to see plenty of offense in this one as well. Lots of offense in game 1, plenty of offense here in game 2. I don't think game 3 with these two guys in the mound is going to be much different. So I like the over in this spot a lot. If you're begging me for a side, I will lean just a bit towards the Diamondbacks, but not married to the side on this one. Definitely think the over is the play you want. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. Major League Baseball has had a very, very good season overall. We're plus units over there through week 1 in the NFL. NCAA football has gotten off to a little bit of a rocky start, which is a bit to be expected there with so many moving parts through the transfer portal, but I think overall we're in a pretty good spot there as well. So definitely get over there to StumpTheSpread.com. Check out all the premium stuff we offer there, but there's plenty of free stuff over there for you guys too. There are exclusive free picks that are only posted there. You can use our free bet size calculator over there, and of course that's where you'll find our top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not match what you see here from me in the video, as I'm not the premium MLB, NFL, or NCAA football handicapper. Over there at Stump the Spread, we have a team of experts, each with more than a decade's worth of experience capping their specific sport, and they put a ton of work into every single play on every single game that they cover. It's pretty nuts, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration, and not just for baseball, where all of those numbers are just right there at your fingertips, like NFL, an insane amount of data analysis going into every single one of those plays. Also, guys, on the NFL and the NCAA football, the college football side, a ton of work going into those as well. Like the amount of different players you have to keep track of in college football is absolutely startling to me. It's even more than in college basketball. Like in basketball, there's 5 to 7 players you got to worry about on each team on a nightly basis. Football, just a few more guys out there. So a crazy amount of work goes into those plays every single day, and coming off a pretty solid day there on the 9th, guys, got off to a good start on the premium side with the Cubs is a nice 1-unit play that cashed. The Brewers premium play there for a half a unit was posted a little bit later in the day. That one did not work out, but the Orioles came through as a nice 1-unit play, and the Red Sox still up 5-0 there. So looking very probable to be a 3-1 nice profitable day there over on the premium side. So definitely get over there if you're interested and check out the premium stuff at StumpTheSpread.com, but you also have to click that link in the description to get to StumpTheSpread.com to get on the free email newsletter, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single day. 1 email straight to your inbox with at least 1 free pick, oftentimes 2 free picks, information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of stuff. Anything you can imagine could possibly end up in those emails, and it's a great resource, guys. There are parlays also covered in those emails. The results are talked about all the time. Anytime there's sales on the premium stuff over there at Stump the Spread, which usually happens around the beginning of a new season, there will be sales in there as well. So definitely want to get on that free email list, guys. It's a free resource every single day. If you're serious about sports betting, it's definitely something you're going to want to check out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here on YouTube every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name up on screen in every single video, but also every single week we do a members only giveaways here for our members on YouTube. You get a chance, 1 out of how many ever members there are. I think right now we're at 92 or 93. We put every single name on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live in the video so you can see it, and whoever that lands on, that person wins a free Stump Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address. So definitely get on that if you're interested, guys. We've got a huge slate still to cover, plenty of games still to go, and we're going to dive back in. Next up, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins, heading to LA to take on the Angels. The Twins and Angels are actually still playing right now at time of recording. The Angels are up 5-0 in the bottom of the 6th. They've the Twins really took advantage in game 1. Minnesota at 64-80 don't have a lot to play for, but they're hitting the ball in this one to Taj Bradley, a project guy that they signed up for, hoping they can turn him back around. He's 6-7 on the year, a 4.92 ERA. He had 1 terrible start, then had a really good start there against the Padres, then struggled again mightily against the White Sox. Seems like the White Sox are his kryptonite this season. So we'll see what he's able to do against the Angels. Taj Bradley, a guy got off to a great start to last season. This year, kind of been a disaster. So we'll see what he can do here. The Twins' bullpen's been terrible. That's not a great thing when you're putting a mediocre starter out there or somebody that might struggle. Your bullpen can't come in and save them. The offense, while they did put up 12 runs in game 1 of the series, has put up 0 runs in game 2 and hasn't been amazing this year. They're 23rd in the majors in runs scored. They're 25th in batting average, and those numbers aren't really pointed in the right direction. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Angels, who had 67 and 77 on the year. They're out of the mix as well. They're not exactly having a great time. They lost game 1 of this series. They are leading in game 2, but Not a lot left to play for here for the Angels. They'll hand the ball this into Jose Soriano, who's 10-10 on the year, a 4.07 ERA. He got shelled by the Athletics his last time on the mound, which broke a nice little streak of positive starts, but we'll see. It seems like the Athletics are really just a problem for him in general. He's got knocked around by them twice very recently. Going up against the Twins, he had a bad start against them back in April, so we'll see what Soriano can do. I'm not expecting miracles from him or the Angels bullpen, which has been atrocious this year. The offense, 3-4-4-4-3-4 over their last few is not great. This team had some stretches where they were very good at the plate this year, but they're down to 29th in batting average and 28th in on-base percentage, and they're not swinging the hottest bats. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Twins are plus 115. The Angels are minus 140. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Twins are 27-44 on the road, 36-32-3 to the under on the road. The Angels are 34-37 at home, 39-28-4 to the over at home. I'm going to lean towards the Angels here. I don't trust Taj Bradley in this spot. I do think the under might be something worth looking at in this game potentially, but I don't love a lot from this game. I don't trust either team or either starter, so I'm going to stay away. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates heading to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The Pirates at 64-81 on the year have now lost 4 in a row, including game 1 of this series, so slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Orioles there in game 1. The Pirates will hand the ball in this game to Paul Skeens. The young Phenom's 10-9 on the year, a 1.98 ERA. He's fresh off a great start against the Dodgers. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 8 and walked 1. The Pirates have actually managed to win all 4 of his last 4 starts. Very, very impressive stuff. Skeens has been great this year. That's no secret. The kid is killing it. I wish he was on a little bit better of a team, but what are you gonna do? Now, the bullpen for the Pirates is kind of a different situation. It's not great. Now, Skeens probably won't put that much pressure on them, which is nice. So we'll see. Maybe they could be in for a decent day. The offense, 2-2-1-2 over their last 4 games is pretty horrible, guys. They're last in the majors in runs scored and last in slugging percentage. Nothing positive really has come out of this offense all year long. So we'll see what they do in Baltimore, taking on the Orioles, who have turned it on. They're still 10 games below 500, so they're well out of the mix, but I don't know. They're playing great at the moment. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Tyler Wells. He's 1-0 this season, a 3.60 ERA. He's only made that one start. It was against the Padres. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Not a lot to complain about there in a 6-2 win. So we'll see what Wells looks like in this one. The bullpen backing him up is even worse than the Pirates. A 4.46 bullpen ERA from the Orioles is something they definitely need to be trying to address in the offseason. They also might want to make some moves there and try and upgrade some bats. I know they've got a lot of young talent there, but over the course of the year, they are 19th in runs scored, 23rd in batting average. Over the last few games, they scored 3, 2, 4, 2, 7, 6, and 4. Not lighting the scoreboard up like crazy. So we'll see what they do in this one. Looking at the numbers, the Pirates are minus 145. The Orioles are plus 120. We've got a total of 7.5 in this game. The Pirates are 22-47 on the road, 40, 26, and 3 to the under on the road. The Orioles are 33 and 38 at home, 36, 33, and 2 to the under at home. Given what I've seen from both of these teams recently at the plate, I love under 7.5 in this spot. I also love no run first inning. I think that's very reasonable as well. Either one of those unders make tons of sense to me. In terms of the side, I will take the Pirates at minus 145, but that's a little bit expensive for a team that, doesn't have a great bullpen. So I'm probably going to stick with that under or that no run first inning. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Royals have now lost 3 in a row. They're only 1 game over 500 and find themselves all the way 3.5 games back now in the wild card race. Waka was listed as the probable starter for this game, but now he's in the concussion protocol, so we'll see what happens with that. The starter here for the Royals might be a bit up in the air, so we're not 100% sure who's going to be on the mound here for Kansas City. Obviously, their bullpen has been good this season. That's been a big plus, but really need to have a locked-in starter before I can give you my best read on this game. The offense has been ice cold their last 3 games, totaling 3 runs over those 3, all of which were losses. Not a lot of positives right now for the Royals. They got a lot of work to do. Maybe they're getting a little bit healthier with the exception of Waka, but I don't know. A lot of work for the Royals to do. Now they're taking on a Guardians team that's now right back in the mix. They've won 5 in a row. They're 74 and 70 on the year. Only 2 games out in the wild card hunt. They're going to hand the ball to Logan Allen in this one. He's 7 and 11 on the year, a 4.46 ERA. Coming off a mediocre start there against the Rays. He hasn't exactly been great overall this season. We'll see what he can do against the Royals. He hasn't faced them this year, but I'm not expecting miracles from Logan Allen, although he is going up against maybe the worst offense in the majors at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the Cleveland bullpen continues to be. It's been very good this year. And the offense, 2-10, 2-3, and 7 over their last few games. I mean, that's all right, but not a great offensive team. They're last in on-base percentage and last in batting average. They're arguably worse than the Royals at the plate. So, looking at the numbers for this game, which might change a lot if we end up seeing an actual different starter than Waka, the Royals are minus 105, the Guardians are minus 115, and we've got a total of 8. The Royals, 33 and 35 on the road, 34, 33, and 1 to the under on the road. The Guardians are 35 and 33 at home, 33, 32, and 3 to the over at home. Once again, guys, and it's starting to scare me, but this is another spot I think the under is live. Obviously, I can't give you too solid of a lean without knowing for sure who's starting for the Royals. So we're going to have to wait and see on this one a little bit, but I do think under and maybe the Guardians could be decent plays. Rolling along, guys, we're looking at the Washington Nationals heading to Miami to take on the Marlins. The Nationals have won 4 in a row, and they've won 5 games in a row against the Marlins. Pretty crazy stuff. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jake Irvin, who's 8 and 11 on the year, a 5.71 ERA. His last several starts have all been pretty bad. I'm going to be honest, over his last 5, he has given up at least 3 earned runs in every single one of them. He's given up 6 earned runs twice, 7 earned runs once. Like, it's been pretty freaking bleak. So we'll see what he can do here against the Marlins, a team he has somehow not faced this year. Is that possible? He hasn't faced the Marlins? I guess he hasn't. So we'll see how that goes. The bullpen situation for the Nationals is horrendous. They're the worst bullpen in the majors. The Rockies are getting close, though, so they've got a little company down there. The offense, killing it. 7, 15, 6, 2, 5, 10, and 5 over their last few games. This has not been a great offensive team over the course of the year, but they're hitting the ball well at the moment, so having some red-hot bats here can't help as they take on the Marlins, who've now lost, what is it, up to 8 of their last 9 or 7 of their last 8. They're out of the mix, but they're going to hand the ball in this one to a pretty exciting young pitcher, Yuri Perez. He's 6 and 5 on the year, a 4.66 ERA. That being said, his last 2 starts have been horrifyingly bad. He got destroyed by the Nationals his last time on the mound. 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs. So that's pretty concerning, as he only made 1 start against the Nationals this year. No, 2 starts against the Nationals. And the other one back in June wasn't amazing either. So worried about Yuri Perez, worried about the Marlins bullpen. It's terrible. And their offense, 5, 7, 5, 2, and 3 over their last few games. Doesn't look awful. Over the course of the year, they're 20th in slugging percentage and 18th in runs scored. They've put up some runs here recently, but just all in losing efforts. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, it's pretty crazy to me. The Nationals are plus 140. The Marlins are minus 165. We got a total of 8.5. Washington's 28 and 42 on the road, 35, 30, and 5 to the over on the road. The Marlins are 31 and 39 at home, 37 and 33 to the under at home. I'm definitely considering the Washington Nationals at plus 140 as our dog of the day. They clearly just have some weird psychological edge here over the Marlins. I expect them, by hook or by crook, to find a way to win this game. Yuri Perez, terrible history against the Nationals. Not only Jake Irvin has great history against anyone, but I definitely think the Nationals, getting plus money, is the side you want to be on. Next up, guys, we're looking at the New York Mets heading to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. The Mets at 76 and 69 on the year have lost 4 in a row and 5 of 6 and are in danger of falling out of their wild card spot. They're only 2.5 games up on the Mets, or they're only 2.5 games up on the Giants. It's looking a little bit bleak. They're going to try and bounce back by handing the ball in this one to Clay Holmes. He's 11 and 7 on the year, a 3.61 ERA. His last couple of starts hasn't gone super deep into the games and hasn't looked great. Both of those outings were losses to Detroit and Miami. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies, a team that he hasn't faced this year. Is that possible? Yeah, he hasn't faced the Phillies this season. So we'll see what Clay Holmes can do in this matchup. We'll see if the Mets bullpen can gather itself and look decent. They've been struggling recently. The offense, 3-0-2, 3-5-2. This is like $1 billion team. I would be pretty frustrated if I was paying this group $1 billion. They're 9th in runs scored. They're 10th in batting average. They're 4th in on-base percentage. Those are over the course of the year numbers. Those are not the numbers they're putting up right now. So we'll see what they do against the Phillies. Slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Phillies there with us yesterday. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They now have got a 9-game lead in the NL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Christopher Sanchez, who's 12 and 5 on the season, a 2.60 ERA. His last couple of outings have been great. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run against the Marlins. 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 run against the Atlanta Braves. The problem is the last time he faced the Mets, 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs allowed. So not great. We'll see if he's got to bounce back in after throwing the ball so well 2 starts in a row. but he has bad history against the Mets. The Phillies bullpen is bad as well. Not a great bullpen to be handing the ball to back you up. In the offense, well, 9 runs yesterday looks amazing, but 9, 1, 4, 4, 9, 2, and 3 over their last several doesn't exactly make me feel like this team is swinging the hottest bats right now. They're 3rd in batting average, they're 10th in runs scored. All their season-long numbers look great, but I worry about them a little bit in this matchup today. So looking at the numbers, the Mets are plus 150, the Phillies are minus 175, a total of 8 in this game. The Mets 31 and 39 on the road, 33, 30, and 7 to the under on the road. The Phillies are 45 and 23 at home. That's an MLB best home mark. They are 33, 31, and 4 to the over at home. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't really have a big lean on this game in this specific spot, given Christopher Sanchez's negative history against the Mets. I'm going to lean just a little bit towards the Mets to salvage a win here at plus 150. Like 1.5 to 1 is not something I'm going to turn my nose up at, but I'm not going to be big on this game, and I'm not going to be putting in the pinned comment. Cruising right along here, guys, we are looking at the Detroit Tigers heading to New York to take on the Yankees. The Tigers got the blowout 12-2 win in Game 1 of this series, so well played there by Detroit. In Game 2, they're going to hand the ball to Jack Flaherty. Now, he's 7 and 13 on the year, a 4.85 ERA. His last start, he got shelled by the White Sox. He did have a good start the other day against the Royals, but it's been a pretty mixed bag for him. Detroit can still afford to keep running him out there and see how he does because they've got a huge, like they don't have to be worried about their playoff situation. But I would be a little bit worried about Jack Flaherty on the mound here. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that Tigers bullpen does. They've been much better down the stretch. That's got to be a big relief to see the bullpen actually be decent for this team. The offense putting up 12 runs yesterday obviously feels great, but they've been pretty inconsistent at the plate down the stretch. They are 8th in runs scored this year. They're 10th in slugging percentage. We'll see. We'll see what they do in this matchup. The Yankees, they come into this game 3 games back of Toronto in the AL East, trying to put on the pressure. They're 80 and 64 on the year, hitting the ball to Carlos Rodon. He's 16 and 7 on the season, a 3.12 ERA. Coming off a very solid start there against Houston. The Yankees are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of those outings. In terms of history this season against the Detroit Tigers, he pitched against them back in April. We don't really care too much about that. It didn't go great. He did face him in April, and it was not amazing. But I'm expecting very good stuff from Rodon in this one. He's throwing the ball great right now. The Yankees bullpen's even looking a little bit better, although it's not a great bullpen. Neither is the Tigers, so that kind of cancels each other out. The offense only putting up 2 runs in Game 1 is not the norm. This team has been killing it recently. I mean, Aaron Judge, leading the way with 44 home runs. They're 1st in runs scored. They're 1st in slugging percentage. And they're playing at Yankee Stadium. This is one of the scariest outfits out there. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Tigers are plus 140. The Yankees are minus 170. We've got a total of 8.5 or 8 out there. Detroit is 36 and 33 on the road. 37, 31, and 1 to the over on the road. The Yankees are 43 and 29 at home, 39, 31, and 2 to the under at home. Guys, I like the Yankees here quite a bit. I know Rodon did have a bad start against the Tigers at the very beginning of the season, but I'm not going to let that cloud my judgment here. Flaherty's looked terrible recently. I don't think the game where he's going to look great is all of a sudden going to be in Yankee Stadium. Give me the Yankees here at minus 170 as a potential lock of the day. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Houston Astros heading to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. The Astros 78 and 67 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back losses. They'll hand the ball this one to Jason Alexander. He's 4-1 on the year, a 4.68 ERA. His last start was against the Yankees, and the Astros did win that game 8-7, but he went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits and 3 earned runs. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been thrilled with how he's thrown the ball. Had a scuffling kind of start there against the Rockies. Gave up 8 hits against Baltimore. He's managed to be on the right side in a lot of these games, but it has not always been pretty. And now he's got to take on the Blue Jays. I don't know how well this is going to go here for Jason Alexander. Now, the bullpen for the Astros has been pretty reasonable all year long. A 3.71 bullpen ERA. That's fine. The offense, though, has been bad. 3, 2, 11, 3, 4, 8, 1, 8, and 0 over their last few games. They're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They're 15th in slugging percentage. 15th in on-base percentage, just not a scary lineup out there. The 3-inch tall Jose Altuve is leading your team in home runs. This squad just doesn't really get me going here at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here in Toronto, taking on a Blue Jays team that at 83 and 61 on the year still has a 3-game lead in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jose Barrios, who's 9 and 5 on the season, a 4.02 ERA. His last start was terrible there against the Reds. 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of which were earned. In that start, he only lasted 2 innings, so he's going to be very well rested for this outing. We'll see what he can do against the Astros. He was throwing the ball a lot better going into that start where he really got knocked around, and he hasn't faced the Astros this year, so I think this is a very nice bounce-back spot here for Barrios. The bullpen for Toronto is not great, but not the disaster that it was earlier this year. The offense hasn't really been online recently. I mean, 4-3-1, 7-13, and 12. So the last 3 games, they've been lacking a little bit, but they are still 6th in runs scored, 1st in batting average, and 1st in on-base percentage. They're maybe a little bit banged up, but I think this team is still in very, very good shape. And looking at the numbers here, guys, the Astros are plus 105. The Blue Jays are minus 125. We've got a total of 8.5. Houston's 35-34 on the road, 33-31 and 5 to the over on the road. Toronto's 45-24 at home, 42-25 and 2 to the over at home. That's an MLB best to the over. All that being said, I'm going to lean towards the under in this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense here, but I also think we're going to see Toronto win. Barrios on the mound, I think is going to be in a great bounce back spot here. I don't know what Alexander's going to really do against this Toronto offense, so definitely give me the Blue Jays in this one. I think there's some good value. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Cubs heading to Atlanta to take on the Braves. Unfortunately, no numbers out for this game at time of recording. Slam that thumbs up button, though, if you enjoyed cashing the Cubs there at minus 110 as our lock of the day yesterday. They got that nice 6-1 win, and despite being 6.5 games back in the NL Central, they're still in great shape there in the wild card. I mean, they're the top wild card team in the National League. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jameson Taillon. He's 9-6 on the year, a 4.15 ERA, coming off the 15-day IL to make this start. So we'll see what he looks like out there, see if that groin is okay. But if it is, he's thrown the ball really well over his last 3 starts. So we'll see how that goes. The bullpen for the Cubs has been decent, not elite. The offense had really been floundering up until yesterday where they put up 6 runs, kind of as we predicted. So hopefully they can keep hitting the ball here. We'll see if that happens against the Braves, who at 65-80 don't have a lot left to play for this year, but they're going to hand the ball to Chris Sale. He's 5-4 on the season, a 2.38 ERA. Dude's been lights out, did miss a bunch of time with injury, but came back and looked amazing there against the Mariners. 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Also looked amazing there against the Phillies. So both of his games back off of injury, he's looked lights out. The bullpen for Atlanta has not been good. The offense for Atlanta also has been struggling a little bit. So we'll see how things go here. Obviously, with no numbers posted right now, we're not able to give you a big lean on this game, but check back on the pinned comment. We can end up adding something for this one later in the day. Next up, guys, we've got our other game that doesn't have numbers posted at time of recording. We've got the Tampa Bay Rays heading to Chicago to take on the White Sox. The Rays at 72-72 on the year need every single win they can possibly come up with to try and gain some ground there in the wild card hunt. They did just get a 5-4 win there against the White Sox. We have Ryan Pepiot on the mound for them in this one. He's 11-10 on the season, a 3.59 ERA. He's looked amazing over his last 3 starts, not giving up a run over any of them and only giving up 2 hits over those 3 outings. Very, very good stuff against Cleveland, Washington, and St. Louis. So we'll see what he looks like here against the White Sox. Obviously, a team you would expect a pitcher to have success against since they haven't been very good at the plate. Pepiot hasn't faced them this year, so we'll see how it goes. The Rays' bullpen's been excellent. That has not been the problem. The problem has been their lack of offense. They've had some really prolonged slumps, and yeah, I mean, they're 14th in runs scored. They're 8th in batting average, 20th in on-base percentage. Like, this team has really floundered down the stretch at the plate this year. They had some really, really good stretches that lasted a pretty long time, but right now, not swinging the hottest bat. So we'll see what they do against the White Sox. Chicago does not have a starter confirmed for this game. That's why we have no numbers. They haven't been playing terrible down the stretch, but at 55-90 on the year, how much credit can we really give them? The bullpen's been pretty bad. They had some moments, they were an above average bullpen. Well, now they're back to below average, and the offense has not been amazing. They've hit the ball better recently, like I said, but over the course of the year, they've been pretty bad, and I think we can expect them to head back down towards the basement. So, like I said, no numbers for this game. It'll have to be a wait-and-see spot, but definitely could see myself liking the Rays in this one, depending on the price and depending who's on the mound for the White Sox. Rolling through these games, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds heading to San Diego to take on the Padres. The Reds and Padres are tied up at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 8th right now in their current game, so we'll see who comes out on top of that one. The Reds need every win they can possibly get to try and stay afloat there in the National League wildcard hunt. They'll hand the ball in this one to Andrew Abbott. This 26-year-old lefty is 8-6 on the year, a 2.88 ERA. He's coming off a terrible start against the Mets and has been a little less sharp down the stretch over his last, 5 to 8 starts, something like that. I mean, he had a good outing against the Cardinals, a terrible outing against the Diamondbacks, a great start there against the Brewers. So we'll see what he looks like here against the San Diego Padres, a team that's, in a lot of races right now. He had a good start against them back in late June. So we'll see what it looks like in this one. The Reds bullpen's a bit of a question mark. A 4.09 bullpen ERA has not been great this year, and the offense has been like one of the most streaky offenses in the big leagues. I mean, they're 13th in runs scored, 16th in batting average, 16th in on-base percentage. Not a big slugging percentage team, not a lot of scary bats out there, and they've scored 3.36 4, 9, and 9 over their last few games. So we'll see how they finish up in this one. We'll see what they can do in game 3 of this series. The Padres are 79 and 65 in the year, only one game back of the Dodgers. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Nick Pivetta, who's 13 and 5 on the year, a 2.85 ERA. His last start, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs allowed there at Colorado. Over his last 5 outings, he hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of them. So very, very good stuff from Nick Pivetta in terms of his history against the Reds this season. It appears he somehow avoided facing them. So yeah, he hasn't pitched against the Reds, so we'll see how that goes. But I think he's going to be fine. I think the Padres bullpen is going to continue to be the best bullpen in the majors throughout the season. I don't think there's any reason to think that'll change. The offense has not been amazing. They're 22nd in runs scored. They are 25th in slugging percentage, but they're top 10 in batting average and on base percentage, so they can manufacture some runs when they get the chance. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Reds are plus 140. The Padres are minus 165. A total of 7.5 in this game. The Reds 32 and 37 on the road, 38, 30 and 1 to the under on the road. The Padres are 43 and 25 at home, 36, 29 and 3 to the under at home. I don't mind under 7.5 in this game. I also don't mind no run first inning at all. I think both of those are very reasonable plays. In terms of the side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Reds because I think this could be a very low scoring game that could go either way, but no major value showing on the side for this one. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals heading to Seattle to take on the Mariners. The Cardinals and Mariners are playing right now. They're in the top of the 8th. Seattle's up 5-3 with 1 out in the top of the 8th. So we'll see how they finish that one up. The Cardinals not having a great time here at the end of the year, really struggling to stay alive in the wild card hunt. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Michael McGreevy, who's 6-3 on the year, a 4.68 ERA. He got shelled by the Giants his last time out. Has had some okay starts down the stretch, but definitely not what I would call a banner season. No history against the Mariners, obviously, so we'll see what he can do, but I'm not expecting miracles, although he did throw the ball well his last time on the mound. The Cardinals' bullpen has been excellent this season. That's not the problem. The problem has been the rotation, and their offense has just tailed off here at the end of the year. They're down to 17th in runs scored, 27th in slugging percentage. They scored 2-4-3, 2-5, and 2 over their last few games. That is rarely going to be getting the job done for this squad. So we'll see what they do in Seattle, taking on the Mariners, who are only a game and a half back in the AL West. They are trying to hold on to that last wildcard spot out there in the American League. That's getting real close for them. They're going to hand the ball to Logan Gilbert in this one. He's 4-6 on the season, a 3.61 ERA, coming off an excellent start there against the Atlanta Braves. He hasn't faced the toughest teams recently, but he's thrown the ball well. Had that 13 strikeout game against the Athletics, and I think we're going to see him rounding into form here as the playoffs continue to approach. The bullpen for the Mariners hasn't been elite down the stretch, but they've been okay. The offense, they've found a way to score some runs, guys. It doesn't hurt when you have Cal Raleigh on your team. 53 home runs, 113 RBIs. They're 11th in runs scored this year. They're 11th in slugging percentage. This offense is legit. So looking at the numbers here, I'm not shocked to see the Cardinals as big underdogs. They're plus 185 here on the road. The Mariners are minus 225. We've got a total of 7.5. The Cardinals are 31 and 38 on the road, 35, 30, and 4 to the over on the road. The Mariners are 41 and 27 at home, 34, 30, and 4 to the over at home. Once again in this game, guys, I don't hate over 7.5. I didn't hate the over there in game 2, and that one already hit. It was 7.5 as well. I think we'd see at least 8 runs in this game also. And in terms of the side, I will once again back the Mariners, but at minus 225, I'm not showing quite enough value or have quite enough confidence to get that into the pinned comment. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Colorado Rockies heading to LA to take on the Dodgers. The Rockies and Dodgers are playing right now with the Dodgers up 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see if they can hold on and make this, a legitimate, solid win against the worst team in the majors. The Rockies, historically bad, obviously, will hand the ball to Kyle Freeland in this game. He's 4-14 on the year, a 5.10 ERA. His last start was his best start of the year. 8 innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, and no runs allowed, and a 3-0 shutout win there over the Padres. Can we expect him to replicate that? Absolutely, we cannot. So we'll see what he does against the Dodgers. Last time he faced them, 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs allowed. In a game, the Rockies somehow won 4-3, but I doubt they have the same opportunity in this one. Their bullpen is atrocious, one of the worst in the majors. Their offense is not much better. Won in their current game, won the game for that, won the game for that. You kind of get how this is going, guys. They're second to last in the majors in runs and on base percentage. So looking at their opponent in this game, the Dodgers, they come into this one playing pretty well, winning 2 in a row, but they've got to string together a bunch of wins here if they want to hold off the Padres. They're going to hand the ball to Blake Snell, who's 3-4 on the year, a 3.19 ERA. His last couple starts have been a bit concerning, getting shelled by the Pirates his last time out, and the start before that, not having very smooth sailing against the Diamondbacks. They need to be really, really good here down the stretch. And being really good against the Rockies, you wouldn't think would be too tough. We'll see if Snell is up to the task, see if the Dodgers bullpen continues to show signs of improvement. It's still not a bullpen that I trust very much. The offense, 5 in their current game, 3 and 5 in the games before that. This is supposed to be an insanely good offense, and they don't look insanely good to me at the plate right now. They're third in runs scored, fifth in on-base percentage. Cool. Right now, not swinging the hottest bats. So looking at the numbers, they're pretty wild, guys. The Rockies are plus 275. The Dodgers are minus 340. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Rockies are 17 and 51 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. 41, 26, and 1 to the under on the road. The Dodgers, 45 and 26 at home. 38, 30, and 3 to the over at home. I don't have much of a lean on this game, to be honest. The price tags are all way, way too high. Even if you want to take the Dodgers minus 1.5, doesn't really feel worth it. I guess you could lean towards the Rockies at nearly 3-1 under the hopes that Freeland could have another transcendent performance, but that seems like a big reach to me. I'll lean just slightly towards the Dodgers, but I'm staying far away from this game. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a very busy Wednesday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have about today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're clicking that link down in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out those premium picks over there. We've got a ton of MLB, NFL, and NCAA college football action coming up this weekend and every single day, obviously for MLB. So definitely check in on that and get on that free email newsletter. It's a great resource every single day. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow where we will break down the entire MLB slate as well as covering Thursday night football there for the NFL. We'll see you right back here, same time, same place for more sports betting action.